Okay, go.
Oh.
Go with what?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What are you talking about?
Never mind.
Oh. So I did these pug paintings, and this week, so they're cute, and you never see just one pug, so I had to do two. That way you'd have a little buddy.
Cute. Donna will love those.
Oh, thank you. And I did one that's in a museum right now, and or it's on a show. All the pugs are for sale, of course, but the one at the museum, I think, is going to help support a cause. But I'm not sure. I think the cause might be the museum, but it's I don't know. All these museums do all these different programs, and it's incredible. And I started a new drawing, and this is going to be it's a commission, and I don't know if you can see it, but I thought I would show it because it gives an idea of how I draw. I don't know. Can
you can't really see it. It's so and no, you can't really see it.
Well, if you can see it, it's going to be a painting of Jesus with a lamb.
Oh,
so I got that. It was a commission.
How neat.
Right now it just looks, I draw, because I have to use the tactile. I just use white on white because I don't have to see it. I'm not going to see it, so I just use the tactile. So if it's hard to see, that's fine. That's what I did with Elvis, and I worked it out so that we'd have a better chance of maybe getting a good chunk of them done on the live show tonight.
Well, John, did you draw him just from memory, or did you have like an
Yeah.
No, I mean, did you do it?
Well, when Jesus and I used to hang out, yeah, I remember.
About Elvis. I mean,
Elvis. I thought you.
Actually, no one's ever seen Jesus. I mean.
No one's ever seen Elvis either.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Did you just draw it, or did you have it? Did you use your computer program?
I use a program on my computer to go over lots and lots of different pictures of Elvis because I had an Elvis that I wanted to do, but I was thinking about young Elvis, old. It's kind of like when I did Marilyn Monroe. I know what she looks like, but you want to be refreshed on.
Yeah, she could use some refreshing.
Yeah. Hey, do you know if the Facebook is working?
Nope, I'm working on it.
It should be on my personal page.
It's not there. So what colors, what brushes, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm going to use blacks and whites for the gray. I'm going to do a grayscale. So a lot of times whenever you're working on a painting, I don't know if it's gonna have a lot of different colors. If it's going to be kind of complex, and the portraits can be kind of complex because of the the different colors and stuff that are involved. That sometimes it's just easier to make it one color. That way you're just thinking about the tones, the lightness and darkness of a painting. So on that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to put in.
Watch your head. There you go.
It's going to have to be in the way, I think, sometimes.
So what part of are you starting with Elvis?
So I'm going with an outline, and my head's probably going to get in the way with a portrait. Portraits are hard to do. So, I mean, like with some things you can kind of go like, oh, a little willy-nilly here, a little willy-nilly there. Like if a leaf doesn't look perfect, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
But with a face, you get the eye in the wrong place. Like, if you want to look up, some bad art, look up a celebrity and then type in art or something, and you'll get all their fans different ideas of what they look like, and I shouldn't say bad art, but I mean if you get the idea of trying to get proportion right, there's ways to help get proportion a little bit better. We talked about them a little bit last week.
And you got the GoPro started?
I do.
Are you doing Elvis in the later years or the earlier years, or is it a surprise?
Ooh, yeah. Is he gonna have some bedazzling going on?
It isn't like the late '70s Elvis, but it's not like the early '50s where Elvis looks like Justin Bieber, or Bieber looks like So it's not that.
His Justin Bieber should ever look that good.
I know. I think that's the only reason that Justin Bieber ever got a name at all is that he apparently. I've heard it said that he looks like a young Elvis a little bit.
He does? I haven't seen it.
I mean, I don't know. He's got. I mean, he.
I do not like Justin Bieber. In fact, I'd like to put a roll on the wall like, we don't talk about Justin Bieber.
I mean, he's got the same sort of like slick back hair always. I mean, of course it's like it's kind of like mine where it's like blonde and dark but it's all, I don't know. I mean, although he's got tattoos all over him, so That's a little different.
He's got hair. Maybe that's where the buck stops.
Yeah, but
Oh my God.
that's about it.
But if you believe any of the Elvis persona, that he was such a good man, which by all accounts, have you ever heard anything bad about Elvis? Has anybody?
Well, there's a couple of interesting stories out there. I don't know if and I'll
But you never hear anything good about Justin Bieber, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's true. You don't really
nothing,
ever hear
I know,
no
yeah.
human, no.
Exactly. That's why I'm a little put off when people say he looks like Elvis, because I really like Elvis and I don't like Justin Bieber at all.
Well, and Elvis, really though, I mean, he was more than just his looks. He was just personified a good human being.
Yeah.
Well, I know that
It's almost like a present day Jesus. I mean, he was so giving, and except for the drugs, women, and alcohol.
except for dying on the toilet. Yeah.
Dying on the toilet is not necessarily
It's true.
act.
We should all be so lucky.
I'm just saying. So anyway, what stories have you heard about him?
Well, there's this. I don't know anybody.
anybody.
I don't know anybody out there that watches the show
Tread lightly.
Drunk History on Comedy Central, but it's a hilarious show.
Who doesn't have drunk history at one point?
Well, no, it's a show called Drunk History, and it's hilarious. And they did a skit about Elvis and how he was really obsessed with collecting badges from police officers and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's a whole story out there where he, was playing cards or something with this particular narcotics officer, and the narcotics officer was like high up on the chain, and he wanted the narcotics officer's badge because it was super cool. And I don't remember, babe. Did he get it, or he didn't get it, and then he went like Nixon ended up giving him one or something?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I watched the movie
He actually
about
ended up becoming
that.
he
A special deputy, a special
Yeah.
agent at
So
large.
he
I just watched the movie.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he could actually arrest people, and there was a thing where he thought somebody stole something for him, so him and his crew, they went and got the guy and drug him back to the hotel room.
Really?
And then they were like, "It's okay, man, you're cool." Whatever, and he let him go. It's like, just don't do it again. Whatever, I cannot do Elvis.
That's good, I like that
impression.
impression.
What an honor
That's
to
more
be
like
arrested by Elvis.
It's like Elvis.
I know you would. I know.
But I did
Elvis
just watch
and
the
Fonz,
movie. There's a movie, it's the, what's it called?
Is it like on TV now?
It's on Netflix, and it's, I can't remember, Elvis and Nixon, I think is the name of something like that, but it's all about how he came to present him with the badge, and
Yeah.
and Elvis told him he wanted to be a special agent at large, and Nixon was like, "What's that?
Sure.
What's a special agent?" He didn't know what it was.
Really?
I'll tell you what, though, Kevin Spacey, John, played that part. Now,
Elvis?
that doesn't make he played the Nixon.
Oh,
part.
good. I'm about to say,
really?
Betty made it better.
Yes.
So was it a made for Netflix movie?
I'm not really.
I bet it was.
I'm
I
not.
think
I
Kevin
don't
Spacey
know.
likes to do
But the
that.
guy that played Elvis was really famous too. Not to me, but you'd probably know him. But it was a good movie.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin
Well-
Spacey was Nixon. Gosh, was he good?
On the chat, Valerie says that she's heard negative things about Elvis, and
Valerie Nixon.
and
Hey, Valerie,
and
by the way.
Priscilla divorced him for a reason. Wah wah.
Oh well.
Man.
So
Well, yeah.
Well,
Hey, is the
Well-
Facebook working now?
no, I can't.
one of the reasons Priscilla divorced him is because she took up with her karate instructor.
Really?
Just saying. Oh yeah. Hello.
Why was she doing karate at that
His
stage in her
karate,
life?
well, his karate instructor. He was a karate. He was a famous karate. I think she did
Were they doing
karate,
karate
yeah.
together?
I don't know about that, but I know that she took up with the karate. And who whatever, but-
Interesting.
But, I'm
Hmm.
saying that, but she did.
Oh.
All right, so
Okay.
so it looks like I can see his eye, and you're outlining his face
Ooh.
and all that jazz,
Yeah.
and doing what looks like maybe a collar.
Yeah, so I'm working on
Ooh.
that because I'm using touch. I've got to work on one area, then go to another while one dries, and I'm using a high flow acrylic that I've mixed some mediums in with that will dry a little quicker, and so that it will work a little bit quicker. So I'm just going in. What I'm doing, I'm not sure how far we'll get along today, but what I'm going to do is rough in. So I'm basically doing the underpainting, and I'm going to do that in the grays, blacks, whites, and grays. The nice thing about this is if you work on a painting, you can work on any kind of painting. It doesn't have to be a portrait, it could be a landscape, bowl of fruit, whatever you want, any kind of still life. And but let's let you focus on the values. So what I'm going to do is focus on the values on this. That way I get the lightness and darkness that I want. And then when you start putting in washes and glazes and stuff to get color, and then finally opaque paint, you can really get more of a realistic sort of looking picture. You know, it has more in depth and everything in it. And I'm just using a regular, just a rounded paintbrush, just a normal sort of paintbrush. But you can use, and I'm just using this because it's got a bit of a point, so it's letting me follow some of the lines that I was working on earlier and add some new ones. So the nice thing about a rounded brush like this is that it lets you really flatten it out and get a nice thick line, but you can put less pressure and it goes to the point and you can get a finer line. So just by applying less or more pressure, you can end up with a thicker or thinner line. Are you still working with the Facebook thing?
Yeah, I'm messing with it, but at this rate, I'm not hopeful.
Josh said that movie was Elvis and Nixon. Yeah, that's what it was, and he said it was the best movie ever. I don't know about that,
Elvis
Josh,
and
but
Nixon.
it was good.
Valerie said that he was catting around as well, and
oh yeah, definitely. Hello, it'd be like catching I don't know what in a bottle. Keep him cat. I mean,
something gross, I'm sure.
Hello.
And then Owens joined us. He said his painting instructor happened to mention you in class today and said that she watched a couple of your videos.
Oh, cool.
How you paint with texture.
Well, I want to say I follow Owen and I try to follow everyone that's on that watches the show. And I believe his painting instructor is named Joanne DePaulo or Paolo. I'm not sure. My computer pronounces it one way, and I suspect it's a different. It's not always the best with that sort of stuff. But please tell her thank you, Owen, for watching. I appreciate that, and thanks for tuning in.
Cool. And Valerie got her print, and let's see. Oh, and Donna also watched the movie with Josh. And okay, so who plays Elvis is my question.
Yeah.
If Nixon is played by Kevin Spacey, who plays Elvis? I'm curious.
But he's right. Nixon, they're right, I think.
So were they like buddy? Were they like besties?
No, they weren't besties. But well, what it was, Nixon was trying to gain favor with the public at large, and his PR, his administrative staff or whatever came up with the idea of
hey, hang out with the cool kids.
Nixon just happened to show up at the gate, and he wanted to be a special agent at large.
Of Graceland?
Yeah. No.
No, you mean
Elvis. Elvis showed up.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow. Just have your president show up. That's cool.
No, but it would be cooler to have Elvis show up. Hello, forget the president. My God.
Well.
But anyway, so he showed up at the White House gate, and everybody was so starstruck by him. It was just, and they kind of made, I don't know, I mean, they kind of made a spoof out of Elvis in a way to me in that movie, but maybe they had, they made him kind of.
But it makes sense. I mean, and Elvis, if you think about it, he was a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was a patriot.
Well, that's true.
I'm a patriot, but
I mean, and he had access to, he had a stage, a platform to be a patriot.
Images of him in a uniform.
Yes, and that was what he said when he wanted to meet Nixon, and they had to pitch it to him. His staff had to pitch it to him, and that was a big rigmarole. Elvis was running around Washington waiting to hear if he was going to get in, and bedazzling all the local women, and I mean, just going to the agencies. But he wasn't bedazzling his jumpsuit. But
that's one peanut butter sandwich too many.
Yeah, but he does, sure. But not at that time. He was still in good shape. It was in the early. It was about 6 years before he died, and I think he was in pretty good shape.
Really? I thought he was heavy for a while.
He
had periods where he went up and down. That's for sure. He'd get in shape for a show. Not a lot of shape sometimes.
Even in Vegas, though, when he was wearing all the sequins, he'd get out there and he'd do his karate moves, and and he's doing all this sort of. I'm not gonna do anything else.
How does that karate move go again?
But the way he would get in, the way he would get various things done, the handlers of Elvis, they would work the women angle. So Nixon wasn't about Elvis at all, and they said, "Well, doesn't he have daughters?" Because his handlers, Nixon's, people thought that he'd just be so wonderful for his image.
Yeah.
And so they got to talking to Elvis's handlers and hanger-ons, and it was like, doesn't he have daughters? Well, get them in on it.
Doesn't
and
he have daughters?
then they'll make him do it. And that's really what happened. I mean, it's according to the show.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
That's
smart.
So Julie Nixon called up and said, "Hey, Daddy, we didn't hear her side of it, but his," and he was like, "Oh, okay, darling, okay."
Interesting.
Well,
I
is
should.
Julie Nixon still alive?
Probably.
There's Trisha and Julie, I think. I don't know if it was Trisha or Julie, but Elvis, whenever he went in and found out, and Nixon told him he wanted a picture with his daughter, and he said, "Doesn't the other one like me?"
Of course.
Well,
I should say, Josh chimed in and said Michael Shannon, so that's who plays Elvis. I don't know that.
Somebody
actor.
I never heard of either.
I don't know who that actor
But
is.
I knew him to see him. But I didn't know his name. I'd seen him in other things. He was good, but he wasn't near as good as... Nobody's as good as Kevin Spacey.
Well, that does sound like Elvis. I'm saying, like, well, doesn't the other daughter like me? I heard that the reason he went to Vegas to begin with was because he walked down a street in L.A. one year, like in 69, 68. It was like when the Rolling Stones and all these other things were really big, and he walked down the street and nobody stopped him. Like, nobody, stopped and said, "Oh, it's Elvis, it's Elvis." So he was like, "Oh,
wow.
Oh, I gotta do something about
I need to
this."
stop eating some peanut butter sandwiches, is probably what he thought.
Yeah, he threw him that peanut butter sandwich. He put on the sequin suit, and he went to Vegas.
When you think about it, his life depended on people. I mean, his whole livelihood depended on people. I mean, that's all he became, was what people thought of him, really.
Did you know that when he bought Graceland, he paid $100,000 for it? That's what it.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
I didn't think it was even. I don't know.
And even today, though, like if you use today's money, it's like 800. It's less than $1 million, really.
Now,
really?
But you couldn't buy.
Well, I think it's like a compound, isn't it?
Well, 100,000 then, like. And
yeah, but 800,000 now.
The dollar's worth like 8 times more now, or something.
But I mean, that wouldn't be what you could purchase it for.
Oh no, because it was Elvis's.
Right.
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, if it would, yeah. But I mean, if the purchase price would be like a little less than $1 million.
So I should say, let's see.
But also you have to think too that whenever he bought it, that city was a whole different kind of. I mean, it's grown in the last 40 years or everything's probably worth a lot more now.
I would have expected him to be in a nicer place, really. I mean, I never thought Graceland was all that much.
You thought he could have done better?
Yeah, I did.
Man, you know what's funny about the whole Elvis thing is when I was little, in a giant pack of like photos that my mom had, she had a picture of like Elvis with I guess he was like it's a vague memory, but it was like a little girl getting on a horse and Elvis is in the background or something. And for years, I thought I was there and I was the little girl, and I was like. For years, I was like, sweet, man, I totally met Elvis and got on one of his horses. It was awesome.
It didn't bother you that you didn't have a memory of it? Or anything?
No, the little girl was like 2. I mean, it was like a baby, I mean, I am only 19, so jeez.
I thought you were going to say, I am a blonde.
Well, that's debatable, too.
There's lots of things that are turmeric like that.
So Donna said that Michael Shannon was not necessarily the best choice for the actor.
I agree.
But you did make Josh's night because he loves Elvis, and deliberately creative Stephanie Bergeron said my hair is awesome.
Aww.
Thank you.
It is, isn't it?
It's amazing what happens when you brush it.
I've been telling you that for years.
I know I should do it more often.
No.
But once
you guys are
a month or 2 is good enough.
About the painting here, I'm just still adding more of the black, and I'm just roughing it in with just black, and then when I get done with that, I'll start adding some other colors. So right now, it's just sort of a...
Your man bun looks great on the camera.
I'm sorry to say, we got a good picture of the back of your head, son.
Yeah, you might have to do the other camera more on this, because it's just...
All right, it's all you and me.
Is everybody having allergies? It's just an aside.
Jack's been coughing a lot today.
Gosh, I mean, my eyes started running on the way over, and I'm not over it yet.
So we could tell everybody about Corpus. We went to Corpus this weekend.
Oh yeah, this is the first time now. We've done over 100 shows all over the country, everywhere. This is the first time we've ever done a show anywhere where we didn't make expenses. Like, it was just this weird sort
We
of...
lost some money.
We did. We lost a little money on it, and but it's important. It's important to talk about your failures as well as your successes.
You learn
And-
from your mistakes.
And it was a festival. It was an art festival they have, and it's right on the ocean. You know, the ocean waves are right there. It sounded great. It was the first time that they ever did it, and
Had
It's
waves
just-
on the ocean?
well, no, it's the first time they ever did this festival, and it's just they the way that it was just set up, it was just like it felt like it was over 100 degrees. The humidity was 100%. Like,
Oh
it
my
rained a little
God.
bit.
It was
not-
brutal.
Nobody wanted to go out. I mean, there was usually more artists out there than there were people going to it, which is
I got a monster bruise on my arm.
Doing what?
Help! Oh,
Running
okay.
into the waves?
No. In fact, it was so. It seems like every time we do these trips where they're flops, there have been some flops. I mean, Colorado was
well, yeah, but
not
we never
necessarily
lost-
a flop.
yeah,
we
never
didn't
lost
lose money, but it was still comical in how ridiculous it was.
Well, the
this
bears
show,
and the
yeah,
forest fires and
and the
things.
cracking of Jack's head open. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, all of that was fun.
Ugh.
And so, just like in this
But at least
trip.
we made money. I
well,
mean,
we made our expenses, yes. But in this trip, it was just the whole thing was a flop. We didn't make any money. We lost money, and then I mean it's dead. The whole show is completely dead. And then at the very end, we're like, all right, man, it's closing time. Let's just go to the bar at that point. And as we're packing up, a windstorm comes in right off the beach. So it feels like a hurricane, to us. It's like,
Was it cool air anyway? I mean, did it cool things down?
no,
No,
it was a heavy wind. Like,
Like,
it was like we had to
sand
hold our tents down, and it got to the point where the woman next to us who was doing jewelry,
God.
her some of her stuff fell over and broke, just crashed open. And at
Oh,
that point, I
no.
left John because we were almost done, and went over and helped her. And as I was walking between the tents because they had gates and all this weirdness, I just scraped my arm across a gate
Oh.
and got a nice little fancy bruise. But that's what's so funny about these trips is not only, I mean, there's always a story. There's always
Yeah.
not only are you gonna walk away, having lost money, but you might have a heat stroke because it was so hot, and there's a windstorm that's gonna come in right at the end just to drive it home.
yeah, and the heat,
Like-
and it's setting it up. We're used to Texas. We're from Texas, and always lived here. I have, and Jackie's been here since she was 6. But both of us were getting dizzy, and it was just so incredibly hot, and it was so humid you couldn't cool off. But at least with the windstorm, we're used to being here in the Tornado Alley and all that, and going to Tulsa and doing some shows there, and the wind will kick up, so we're really good at getting our stuff down, anything that'll break. But you could hear other people that weren't quite used to that, so we were able to get our stuff down, and I was like, Jackie, go help, that, and she was like, yeah, and because you could hear stuff breaking all around there, and there wasn't one artist that made money at that thing. Like everybody,
Yeah.
everybody, and the people that put it on, they're really nice people. They're really good people, and Corpus Christi is a great town, and the people there.
Yeah, it was just it's their
The
first
volunteers,
one.
yeah, the volunteers
Yeah.
were amazing.
So
and
y'all got caught up in their learning curve.
Yeah.
that's all it was.
It'll probably get bigger. I mean, you can't. I mean, that's what.
It'll
What-
get bigger without you there.
Well,
won't it?
Well, at first,
the
yeah.
deal, when I saw that, because you as a person that works festivals, you subscribe to this service where you can go and see the reviews and all that jazz. And I looked this up and I was like, Corpus beachfront, man, let's do this. It sounds nice. I guess I didn't quite read the part that it was their first one or whatever. I don't even know, but yeah, I mean, it'll probably get bigger and better because. I mean, a festival on the ocean front,
I'm surprised they haven't had them before.
Well,
with that.
it's
have
weird
one
too because
in
the
a
way it
town
was, it had the ocean
here.
front, but it was gated off, so you couldn't get over
Yeah,
there.
that
They put a gate. It was a gated community for the art, and you couldn't get in. People didn't know how to get in, and once they were in, they couldn't get out without having to walk around the entire thing. And like I say, it feels like it's over 100 degrees in there.
Yeah. Deliberately creative. Stephanie just said the time of year might be the cause, which yes, it was super hot. I mean, people were not in the mood to buy because they don't want to carry anything. They barely want to stand in one spot. I mean, the only breeze you're getting is from walking.
Yeah,
so
like
it's
somebody said,
bleh.
maybe they need to change the time of the year.
Yeah,
Well,
yes.
Yeah, and even to be in the summer would have worked. And the festival went till 10 o'clock at night. And to be honest, because you are on the ocean, the beach is there, and it's just like if you're in the Caribbean or something, or you're in California, if you have that breeze coming off the ocean, it really cools things down. And about 5 or 6 o'clock, things started cooling down, but they made us close it at 6. So right when things started to cool a little bit and people started coming out, we had to close down. And the festival kept going. They just wouldn't let anybody sell art.
Yeah, they locked the gates.
What
I don't
was
know.
that?
I don't
It
know.
was
It was
wacky. There were a couple
It was
things
an
that
art
were
festival
weird.
where you couldn't sell art after
Well,
6?
yeah, because they locked the gates to. I think part of it was to save money on security, so they they
Lord.
enclosed it and locked it, and it was like,
If y'all had known that, would you have gone?
no, I don't know.
Because
I
mean, there's others.
What y'all think whenever they started locking up the gate?
So they told us. Well, they said, "Oh, go till 10, but the art area will be locked up at 6." We're like, well, that isn't.
What are y'all supposed to do? Shop? Go other
We
places?
go to the bar is what we
Yeah,
were supposed
really?
to do.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that was the one benefit of the whole trip is that the hotel we were staying at had their bar for the hotel was an Irish pub. And there's one thing about me and John is that we don't even have to try, but when we travel, the first bar usually just happens to be an Irish pub.
Is
so
there any other kind? I haven't run across an Irish
dimly
pub.
lit, lots of red oak,
Have
you
you
know what I
been
mean,
to
like
one?
redwoods, you know, it was just
There isn't
like
one
home.
swinging in there. It could be a Cuban bar, and it turns into an Irish bar.
Yeah, start singing.
Look at the Irish.
Yeah.
I like garbage.
Start throwing Lucky Charms all about the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things. But lots of love to the volunteers that put it on. It was their first time that they did it, and they were really, really good with the artists, and they worked hard in that heat. It's just that the way that it was structured, people couldn't make money, and I'm not bragging or anything, but we kind of have it down to a point where we have a setup, we do it. We're there, and I'm painting live for the whole thing because I figure, I don't know, if I go to an art show,
Oh
if I
my
go to an art
God,
thing.
John, that painting's coming together.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
I want it.
I want people to. I want to have
Josh
fun.
just asked for us to cut the camera over to the painting. But yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, and sorry, Josh. I've been having my head underneath the camera, and that's probably why they haven't had it over there because you just see the back of my head.
Well, Sue.
So-
Well, Sue has joined us, and
Hey, Sue.
Hey, Sue.
and the feeds ran up, but somebody asked, did we pay to be in the show? And yes, we did. That's usually how the art festival
Oh my
situation
God.
always.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean that's typical. I mean that's how the business works. You pay to be in the. You pay for your booth spot.
And it wasn't a lot. It was like
Oh yeah, it was not.
it was
a lot.
low. I mean, the fees can be up to $1,500 to get into
Yeah.
some of these things, and
I'm loving
but-
that painting.
oh, well, thank you. But part of the thing for the show is that we don't live there. It's an 8-hour drive, so we had like a 4 or 5 night stay at a hotel. And you have to be in the city, so it has to be more of an expensive hotel. And it's Memorial Day weekend, so everything's it's just it becomes
my God,
pricey.
Memorial Day weekend. That had to be bad.
Well, you'd think. I mean, Labor Day.
No, I mean
Labor Day.
I
Oh,
mean,
sorry,
but
Labor Day
I
weekend.
mean,
I
you'd
don't
thi-
know.
I mean,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
were more
I just work
expensive.
here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so Owen said
Especially by the ocean.
he's got a couple of cool things to tell us. He's doing another Christmas card design for the Cleveland Site Center, and the NFB
awesome.
of Ohio asked him to do some artwork for their state convention in November.
Right.
Woo-woo!
Well, congratulations, Owen. Man, that's
Really,
awesome.
Owen, good going.
Heck yeah.
So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mix some gray.
Something, talking about Elvis again, but I don't know, maybe Josh will know the answer to this since he's such an Elvis fan, but in that movie, they did mention how Elvis was, he said he didn't like the Beatles. One of his handlers said there's 2 things Elvis doesn't like. One of them's the Beatles, and I forget what the other one was.
Green M&Ms.
No. He loves M&M's, though. Did you know he loved M&M's?
No.
I don't know about, yeah. As a matter of
It's
fact,
odd.
but anyway,
What M&Ms are awesome.
Well, some people don't like green M&Ms. I don't know.
They're supposed to make you randy. That's what that means.
good God, really?
Well, yeah.
I'm pretty.
I'm pretty sure it's a
Well, Nixon always had a bottle of Dr. Pepper.
green M&Ms.
No, a bottle of Dr. Pepper on his coffee table and peanut M&Ms. I think it was peanut. Was it peanut, Josh?
Did they have peanut back then?
Maybe it's just M&Ms. But and Elvis,
Surely
they said
they
do
did.
not touch his M&Ms or his Dr. Pepper. And so, and first thing Elvis did was say, "Oh, I love M&M's," started munching on
Oh
the
my
M&Ms.
gosh, how funny.
And asked the guy to go and get him an opener. Asked Nixon's assistant to go and get him a bottle opener so he could drink that Dr. Pepper. It's funny.
Well, he is Elvis.
Yeah, really.
Is that why? No, it was JFK. I was thinking that Tom Hanks movie, Forrest Gump, where he was drinking Dr. Pepper, but he was meaning JFK though. Okay.
Oh.
But I was going to ask if Josh knew if he really. I always heard that he admired the Beatles. You know, I know that they were kind of taking over. You know, the Beatlemania kind of. Elvis was on the wane when they, you know, came.
Well, yeah, Josh just said, yeah, I don't think he likes the Beatles.
Well, I thought he did.
That's odd. I mean, I don't know.
I heard one time, well, the Beatles were crazy about. I mean, they said that he influenced their music so much, and so I was kind of.
I mean, it might be like a case of these kids coming in and taking my fame.
It was, but I really think he liked their music, though, is what I'd read before. Even though he was a little bit worried about them taking his spot, I'm sure.
That's weird.
Anyway.
So it's 7:35. Should we do one of the...
Yeah, what do y'all... we also have Bean Boozled. I thought we could play that a little bit during the show.
Oh, man.
Has anybody heard of this?
Man. All right.
Here, let's do one of those, and we'll... And then...
All right.
Who wants to do it? I'm not.
Oh, come on.
I want to
Let
do
me
it. I want
explain
to
it to the crowd.
I think the way you do it...
Okay.
Is you spin it and then eat like there's two M&Ms that look. I mean, there's two Jelly Bellies that look the same.
I'd do it.
There's two Jelly Bellies that look the same, but one is a nice one and one's a good one. Like one could be like barf.
Yeah.
One
So
could be like,
one's a nice one and one's a good one.
So here, let me see if I can show the
bad
crowd.
one.
Okay, so there's the spinner, and on it you spin it, and then on it there's you can it ended on either coconut or spoiled milk. This is what I got last time.
Well.
I've never played,
so
but I want to play.
So there's two white M&Ms in there, and you pick. One's sour milk and one's.
You don't know until you bite it and then you have
milk.
to eat it. I'm gonna throw up.
So try one.
I don't want to wait. Now I want to do a different spin. Who?
I wanna play.
Are you doing? Do you want to spin?
Oh, I want to play.
We have to give him two white ones or.
Well, here, spin. Wait. Here, let him spin. Let's
Okay,
spin.
I'm coming over. I'm spinning.
You're gonna end up with something awesome. Okay.
Man, it's fun.
Okay, you got strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish.
Oh my God!
I'm not a big fan of fish.
Now we have to get that color out. What color?
Well, yeah. Okay, so I gotta look at here.
It shows on the bottom of the box, Jack. It gives a better.
But I gotta say, I think I'd rather eat a dead fish than a live one.
Okay, dead fish is the orangey ones. Okay.
What does a live fish taste
is
like?
that right? That's
Sushi?
right.
We give him two to pick from. Well, look, let me show you something.
You can just pick one for me.
Let me.
Here, this is it. Eat that.
Okay.
All right.
See on the bottom.
Banana smoothie or dead fish?
On the bottom.
Doesn't smell.
Oh, I get it. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Or here.
All right.
This is better.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Doesn't taste like banana smoothie or dead fish.
Really?
What does it taste like? Dirty feet?
Peach?
Or poop?
Does it taste like peach?
I don't know. It tastes good though.
It's probably peach.
Gosh.
Some of these are.
No, it's not
okay.
peach. It's not peach.
Is it barf?
It's not barf.
Well, it wouldn't be. I got barf, and it really tastes like barf.
I'm a winner.
I knew you would be.
All right. You always. I mean, it's ridiculous. Your track record for winning is ridiculous. Okay.
I'm a winner.
I'm a winner.
Here, let me spin for it.
Call me Charlie Sheen.
Now one of us has to do it. You have to do it. Okay,
I'm
go.
not doing it.
Oh, come on, and then I'll go.
Tiger's blood.
All right, what do you got?
What have I got on it? What is it?
Chocolate pudding or canned dog food?
Oh my God! Well, I've never eaten canned dog food, so.
You might like it.
Canned dog food?
It could just taste like beef jerky.
You're gonna say it tastes like my home cooking, John. You're gonna be. What was this?
It tastes like my childhood.
Let's see. Which one would it be? Okay, one of these two. Oh my God.
I mean, pick one. It's all the. Just
Oh,
throw. Why don't you throw them all back?
No. Oh my God. What's the choice?
I'm gonna say. I mean, I wonder if it's that bad
Chocolate
because
pudding?
I really like
That's probably what it
jelly
is.
beans.
Imagine chocolate pudding. What did you get? Did you get chocolate pudding? I'm gonna get the one that's.
No. No. God. God.
This is dog food?
Oh.
Almost want a bad one because
Well, here, do you want a sip of my drink?
I like.
Oh, I want a Kleenex.
I like Jelly Belly
Ew, I
so
can
much.
smell it. Ew, I can smell it.
You want to smell it?
No.
Oh my God.
Thanks for that.
Got it?
Oh, we've lost my own.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Have you done one yet?
No.
I want to do another. I want to get a bad one. I've never had a Jelly Belly.
I have gotten a bad. I think I got earwax once. It was gross.
Hmm.
It was disgusting. Okay. Let me go to comments while your mom is washing her mouth out.
Let me have another one. You don't have to spin it. Just a different Jelly Belly.
You want me to spin it for you?
Sure. I just want to try one.
All right. You get berry blue or toothpaste.
Oh, that's okay.
All right. You just random blue
Oh,
one.
thank you.
Well, at least your breath will be fresh.
Toothpaste.
Oh yeah, I've done that one too.
Yum. It's like
Okay.
but it's the kind of toothpaste you get when you're at the dentist. I mean, it's like very generic.
Okay,
like Crest.
Donna said that the painting's awesome.
Oh, thank you,
Earlier
Donna.
in the shows, you had said you wouldn't do Elvis because he was such an icon. You didn't think you'd do him justice. She said you are doing him justice.
Oh,
Bam, bam.
Well, thank you.
So
I also have a short memory, Donna. I've slept since then.
all right, I'm gonna do one, and then
sorry.
we're moving on. Okay.
Oh God.
I had one that was
Move on to the
toothpaste.
hospital.
He did do toothpaste.
It was
You
good.
missed that one. He got, of course, toothpaste. That's nothing.
Oh, for crying out loud! I wonder.
I actually feel kind of refreshed, and I feel like I'm ready to take on the day.
Oh my God! I'm
All right.
wondering how they do these flavors. I mean, I'm afraid I really ate dog
Nobody
food.
wants to know that. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm gonna make it over
I can't believe you
there.
made me do that.
You brought it.
Man, I
Oh
got
man, but I wouldn't go do it.
caramel
Your
corn
game.
or moldy cheese.
Oh,
Oh.
God, Jackie. Which
Okay,
one? Let me see.
wait,
Let me pick it here.
It's oh god.
You can do it. You can do it.
Oh God! I swear I think I'll taste up.
Hey, baby, you can do it.
Popcorn. What was it? Let me see. Melted. Okay, want to make sure.
I want it to have. It needs to have a few more like orangey specks than. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, that looks like the right one. Don't be smelling it trying to give me the bad one. Of course you would.
Oh God!
You might
I
like
swear.
it.
That,
I don't know.
That dog food.
European. You're just really getting after it. That's what you do.
Is it
Moldy
moldy
cheese?
cheese?
Yeah.
Does it taste like you
Oh
just?
God, Jackie!
Does it taste like you just gave a Frenchman a big kiss? And I'm sorry for anybody in France. I'm just, you know.
No. What did I just eat?
Mm.
I don't know what that flavor is. It's gross.
You chewed? You swallowed it?
But you guys in France definitely are on board
I'm telling
with
you,
the,
people,
with the-
don't try
the
this at
strong
home.
tasting
I don't know what that
cheese.
was. I don't know what that was.
What,
It
what?
tasted like spicy cheese. Not moldy, but spicy cheese.
Well, that's not bad.
Hey,
Oh, I don't.
hey, why don't you guys do one more? I need to run real quick.
You're gonna do another one?
Well, I gotta run real quick. I've got to.
I'm not doing another one. Jackie, you do
Well, it's
another
not
one. We'll
gonna
do
be
this for Jackie as a team
Why?
player. You're a team player. Here, do it. You mean me do it for you? Let me see. Good. Bar for peach.
Oh, come on, man. Can I get the toothpaste?
I mean, I had the barf one day. Here, you got 3 to pick from. Could be peach. Could be barf. Oh
Have
my
you
God.
eaten any of the barf or peach
Oh,
yet?
yes, I've eaten barf.
You've eaten lots of barf?
One. And that's the only one.
Did Jack eat any barf?
No, Jack wouldn't eat any. He's smarter than us.
Ugh, God.
And that's the reason I wasn't going to do it again. The barf was so bad.
Really?
Oh, but it's not as bad as that dog food. God.
All right.
Oh, Jackie, you're brave. Of course, you eat
No.
crickets.
No. No.
Say
No.
You better go.
That's just good.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that's wrong.
All right. Sorry about that.
Jackie ate barf.
No, everyone you get is
But
bad.
Jack, like I said, Jackie's
I
eating
think they put more
crickets.
bad ones. I think they put more bad ones than good ones.
How
in
did
there.
John get good ones?
Oh, of course he does. That's how he rolls.
You know, oh my God. I've got to have a
well,
drink.
I gotta
Okay, let's talk about your painting.
I've got to have a drink of your drink. Oh,
Um, Well, I'm adding a little bit of gray and whatnot, and so I need to let this.
God, that's worse than the bar. Holy moly.
It's called strong.
Oh my God. I'm just telling you people out there, don't come over here to eat or drink. That's all
You're
I'm
the one that
saying.
brought the jelly beans.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Echo, God. Oh my God, poor dog.
So right now,
God,
I'm just going in and I'm adding in some different grays. So like along the jawline right here, it goes from black where he's got these luxurious man chops right there, these mutton chops that are coming
I
down.
didn't like that Elvis look. I hated his man chops. I did.
My daddy had big man chops.
He did?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
He rocked him. It was
But
ridiculous.
wasn't he bald though? Didn't he?
Yeah, he was like the Thomas Jefferson of the 70s.
Well, nice.
He really was. I wish I could splice in a photo.
Your mother has very presidential taste.
I know. She loved his. I think they were called lamb chops.
They
Like
are.
that?
She loved them.
Mutton
She
chops.
did?
She did, but she did tell him to cut his hair once he started balding because he did start looking like Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, she liked the long hair and the chops.
Mm-hmm. Until he started balding, and then
okay.
one or the other had to go. Him or the long hair.
They're called mutton chops. I was just making a joke with them. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, Jackie. After tasting your drink, how you could find fault with these beans?
My drink
I do
is
not
really
know.
good. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh God.
I'm drinking Bahama Mama.
Yeah, Bahama.
It's already in the bottle, like it's pre-made, so you can't. They don't.
It's
you're
not
not gonna get it wrong.
You know, like.
And it's probably not even that strong because it's pre-made,
I don't
and they're
want
probably trying
meet
to.
the mama that drinks that Bahama.
You met her.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sitting by her. Yes. Oh my God. Well, it just doesn't.
It's nice though
It's
because
not nice.
you can't make it too strong.
Mm.
I'm still rocking the root beer.
Oh, you and the root
And the
beer. It's
drink.
The other day, I caught John. I went in there and John was making this crazy contraption of a drink, and it was like root beer liqueur, and then he was just putting water in it, and then more of that root beer stuff.
Powder. Well, it was
and
root
then
beer
just
powder.
like and like a mad scientist, just like
What was he mixing?
Well,
root beer liqueur.
Instead of adding like with the root beer powder, I get sugar free, so I added like a tiny bit of sugar, and I thought, instead of a
You
tiny
found
bit of sugar,
root beer liqueur?
well, I do have it, and so I thought, well, it's in there, so thought instead of adding sugar, I'll just add a little bit of that because it's sweet and it tastes like root beer. So instead of adding any kind of sugar, like half a teaspoon of sugar, add a little bit of that, and you get sugary stuff that tastes like root beer. I think I like the sugar better.
Why don't you
I don't
stick
like
with
it
root
with
beer?
Well, I don't want the sugar, and
Liqueur doesn't have sugar.
I'm only drinking like one every
Liqueur doesn't
day
have
or
sugar
two.
in it?
Every other day. Or
Okay, on the chat, I'm gonna go over to the chat for a second.
Yeah, I do. I can't read it.
Stephanie Bergeron said,
Okay,
it is mutton
Elvis.
chops. You're right, John. And her dad had that with the bald head. Welcome to the club. And
Club of two.
Josh was asking how much would the original of Elvis be, and then Donna chimed in and mentioned something about hoping that he was off the feed because she wanted to get it for him.
And he wasn't because he said, "Really? Are you serious? Am I right?"
Yeah. No way. Are you serious? And then that's really sweet.
Did they know each other?
Well, that's his grandmother, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's
You
been
made
a few.
a new friend,
It's
Josh.
been a few.
whoever you are.
Yeah. It's been a few shows, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh well, thank you so much.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate the interest so much. It's such an early painting. We'll see how it turns
But
out.
I'm sorry, Josh, but he's giving it to me.
My mom's been eating too many jelly beans. I'm gonna have to cut her off here in a
The barf
minute.
went to my brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gross. And then Valerie said that her dad had him, but
Jelly
or
beans?
no, her dad had blonde hair, and you couldn't see them if he grew them.
Ah.
That would be interesting.
Well, and thank you so much for your interest about the painting. We can email you, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it turns out. Hopefully,
It's
it'll
turned
turn
out wonderful so far. I'll take it.
Well, thank you.
Donna said yes, awesome grandson. Because she won a print on like one of our earliest shows. She won one and gave it to him. So
How neat.
If I remember
You must
correctly.
be awesome.
Well, thank
You
you.
must
yeah.
be awesome. What's her name? Sue?
Donna.
Donna, you must be awesome.
Donna's awesome. Well, I think I need to let this dry a little bit because I'm all painty and I feel I'm starting to smear things. So we could do an art news or I do have a game for you guys.
Oh.
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 No.
Oh, I don't even know if I want it, but does it involve food?
It does not.
But just a quick aside, I went to Starbucks today and had their new chili mocha frappuccino.
Really?
Yes.
Chili?
Yes. They've got their advertising as their fall
Is it good?
drink. It's got cayenne pepper in it.
Sounds like something Jelly Belly would come up with.
And it was good. You know, it has a little kick to it, but after you drink it, you can feel the heat down in your throat and down
bet
in your
that's good.
esophagus.
I bet that would be a good winter drink, but
That's what it's for,
so
but not
hot.
tonight. Yeah.
I made a tincture of chili mango. You remember not a tincture, but
Oh, yeah.
a vodka with chili mango vodka.
Chili's evidently the one. It's got
It's good.
cayenne pepper in it,
Holy
right?
moly! No, it has chilies.
Well, this say cayenne pepper.
Oh yeah,
read
yeah. I
about
didn't make it that hot, but this it tastes really sweet. You have that mango sort of sweet flavor, and then,
Well,
then it's just warm.
Well, I was running through the store looking for a fire extinguisher. I read the ingredients, and it was cayenne pepper.
Wow.
Anyway, what's the game?
You
Okay,
wanna
are
play
we
the
doing
game or
this?
do you want to do news?
Either one. Your call, babe. I should say, Valerie said we're missing Unk tonight. We are. I would like to. I would.
I think I tell you, yeah.
What is he on the rig?
He's
Okay.
out in the Gulf.
That's a shame too, because his wife Beverly
Yes.
is one of the biggest Elvis fans I know. So
Oh.
I'm sure they'll. I'm sure they'll.
And Joe loves Elvis.
I'm sure they'll catch the show and
Yeah.
I don't know, call you.
That's right. I meant to mention that earlier. It's too bad Joe was out.
So-
because-
Be safe on that rig, Joe. Goodness. I was worried when you're out there. Well,
Oh, yes.
okay.
Okay. So we're doing. Oh, okay. All right. So,
So-
we are going to do the game.
So let's do the game. And I have a Bluetooth here. We're about to start it, but I have a Bluetooth. I'm going to read the questions.
Here we go.
What are they? Are they smart questions?
All right, guys. This is a game. There's going to be 5 questions. You
Okay.
two are playing. You can play along at home. It's going to be true and false questions. And these questions are about famous artists. Now, Jackie, you're over there, so if you can do the slides, but don't do the first slide until I tell you. Don't do
Okay.
it.
Do we win
Are you doing
Elvis
it? Don't you do
painting?
it.
Wait.
Don't do the first one.
Wait. Let me say something really fast.
Uh-huh.
In order to have both me and you on the screen, I had to switch back to me and you.
Okay. What do you mean?
There's no slides on the thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Do I go back?
yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You'll only need the slides for every once in a while.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go back and you tell me when. Okay. So
Okay, yeah. So
All right.
I'll tell you when to do the slides.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we're gonna play a game. There's gonna be 5 questions, and they're true and false questions. So you guys can play. You guys can play along at home.
Do we win something?
Well, maybe
All right.
you could
Elvis
win another
painting?
round of the
No.
Bean Boozled.
No.
Ugh, gross.
So the very first question. This is about Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper.
God.
Okay.
One of Da Vinci's most famous works originally included Jesus' feet, but while installing a doorway in the refectory in the chapel where it was, the builders cut into the bottom center of the mural, lopping off Jesus' feet. Is that true or false? Did the people in the chapel let the builders cut Jesus' feet off to put in a doorway? True or false?
False.
True.
Everybody know?
Yeah.
The
Final
answer-
answer.
The final answer is true.
Really?
Yeah. So if you want to click on the slide, you can see a picture.
I remember
the
it
Last
well.
Supper? You remember when that was? I remember when they were debating about that. It was
We had a thing. He told
squirrels
me.
were flying this way and that about it.
Oh, okay.
And he was
okay.
mad about
I got
it,
it.
see?
I got
All right,
it.
guys. So
He was mad
mom's
about
up
it.
1. Mom 1. Jackie 0. Van Gogh Starry Night, and you can click on the photo anytime for the rest of these.
Okay.
Starry Night.
So Van Gogh Starry Night. One of
Wait,
the most
this is Van Gogh's
Yeah.
One of-
self-portrait.
Okay, let me start. One of the most iconic paintings of all time, but most people who view this painting don't know that the painting rag he used to clean the brushes while working on this piece was the same rag. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not Starry Night. This is his self-portrait.
Self-portrait,
Self-portrait.
Oh,
I'm
with
sorry.
that, the
I
no
misread.
ear,
I misread.
right? Was that a bandage on his ear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Few people know that the rag that he used to actually clean the brushes while he worked on this was the same rag that he used to staunch the blood when he cut his own ear, thereby preserving his DNA in the paint for all time.
Oh, good Lord.
Is that true or false?
Man, I'm gonna say false, man.
I say
That's
true.
crazy.
I think it's true.
Did you just get a bunch of weird facts?
True.
That is
It
false.
is false.
Thank
Oh,
you.
man.
So you guys have tied it up.
That is sad. He was just so, to me, he was pretty egotistical. Or
Well, he was
something.
crazy, but
But
I
he
mean,
probably
I don't.
Well, then you know
I've
about
heard a
DNA then.
But I
million.
started to say, but he probably didn't know about DNA. But had he?
I mean,
don't tell him what
I've
he
heard a
would've
million
put in
stories
it.
about that dude, and not one was that story. So, okay.
Well-
Next question.
Question 3 involves Michelangelo's David.
Can I go to the slide?
You can if you want.
Okay.
Michelangelo was meticulous
Oh.
when it came to selecting the marble for his statues,
Mhm.
going so far as when he was working on David to camp out at the quarry for 3 months so he could inspect each piece as it was freshly removed from the earth before selecting the one to carve David out of. So is Michelangelo the kind of guy that would camp out at a quarry looking
No,
for this marble?
false. False.
Looking for his marbles. He saw his marbles.
What I want to know is what does he have slung over his shoulder?
Well, it's probably like a cape or something. But what do you think? True or false?
Looks like
I think it's like a
False.
cape, if I remember correctly.
Well, it looks like the bottom part's missing.
Ma-
Or is it? Okay.
Jackie says false, and what do you say?
I say true. Anybody that did something that beautiful is pretty meticulous, I
It
think.
is false.
Damn.
Jackie goes up one.
Got it?
Actually, the marble that he used was cut 43 years earlier, and it was for another artist that wanted to do a statue of Hercules. Then he abandoned the project. The marble laid there for 10 years. Another artist took it, and he said the marble's too hard to carve. He abandoned his project. Michelangelo came along, got it, carved David.
That's crazy.
Get out of town.
Question 4.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so Jackie 2, Mom 1.
Oh, please, rub it in. why
Munch
don't you?
or Munch. Is it Munch?
Can I go
or
to the
Munch?
slide?
Yeah. All the rest you can go to
Okay.
the slides.
Ooh.
Is it Munch or Munch?
Ooh, I don't like
I'm from
it.
Texas. We don't know how to pronounce
Whatever
it.
it is, I don't like
Munch?
it.
All right. It's called the Scream.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now,
Ooh.
Munch created 5 versions of the Scream. 2 out of crayon and tempera paint on cardboard. 1 out of pastels. 1 that was a black and white lithograph. And when he saw it was popular, he threw together another one.
True.
Is that true or false?
True.
True.
You guys are right. He did.
I
You're-
just figured after 2 falses, there hadn't been I don't have a clue.
She's going with the BC ratio.
Right,
BC,
exactly.
BC, BB, CC,
Right,
B.
exactly.
That is absolutely true. And the one that was made out of pastels, which isn't the one you see usually, it was sold for $120 million.
This is the
What?
wasn't that the past?
120 million. Wow.
Well, John, I think you need to up your prices.
Well, the last question. The last question
real.
is okay. So Jackie has 3 right. You have 2 right.
Okay.
Mhm.
The last question, so you can tie it,
Ooh.
Ooh.
I love Dali.
is Dali, the persistence of memory.
Yes.
Dali said that the idea of his iconic melting clocks came from a dream that he had, where a blue cat whispered into his ear that time doesn't run, but actually melts away, and other secrets of the universe as well. What were the other secrets? Dali would never tell. Is that
False.
true or false?
False. False.
True.
Why would I mean if it was true? Why wouldn't you throw this cat in the picture?
True.
I mean, come on, it's a blue cat.
It
and
is
there's no
false.
That's how you because there's no cat in the picture, man.
Well, I thought maybe the cat was camera shy.
It actually came from
The duck, clearly, that's in the picture.
Dali saw chunks
Where's
of
the oh,
camembert cheese, blocks of it melting in the sun, and that's where he got the idea
Alright.
for the melting clocks. At least that's what he said. He could have been making it up.
Bam.
Dali
Well,
was a weird dude.
And you
that was a
get to eat
good.
a bean.
That was a good game. What was the final score?
4 to
No, I got 2.
2. Yeah,
2
4
to
to 2.
3.
I'm
Bam!
sorry, 5. No, 4 to 2. Yeah.
Okay.
So Jackie wins another round of Bean Boozled.
No, I don't want to do that.
You
No,
won.
loser has to
You
do
won.
that.
No, you won.
Nope, not doing it.
Yes.
Nope.
Actually, you both did. 4 to 2. Oh yeah, I was gonna say if nobody got at least 3 right, then I win. But I was gonna have a nice prize for you guys.
Alright.
But you know,
So is your
just knowing me is probably prize enough.
I
You
think
guys
Jackie
know
won
me.
the prize, didn't she?
Sure. Well, it's another round of Bean Boozled.
I won his sweet company.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here too, so
Well, I'm here too. I'm here too. You can also be the prize. I want to be the prize. So I'm gonna add a little bit more gray here.
No, I meant I was getting to share your company.
Oh.
Crazy.
So on the chat, people were chiming in, and I would like to go on the record and say a lot of people thought the first story was false.
Well, thank you. It shows how smart
What was
I
the
am,
first
people.
story? I wrote it and I can't remember. It was the Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool.
So yeah.
So I guess I win after all because I went against the odds.
Owen said,
But isn't that weird that they
Owen
said that?
Owen said, John, you know your art history, and his Google.
And
Well-
it's Google, right?
I am ancient, so I have lived a lot of it. I remember back in 1501 when Da Vinci was doing that. I was like, no.
That Da Vinci, boy, he was crazy.
What you guys doing?
God.
Okay, so tell us about the colors you're using.
Well, I'm going back in, and what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to add in a little bit of highlights. And honestly, right now I'm not worried about it looking too much like Elvis. Like I want it to have the right proportions, but it's not going to have any of the detail. So I'm adding in the dark, kind of a mid-tone gray, a light tone gray, and white. So it's really only 4 different tones that I'm adding. And I'm just putting it in to give it sort of a ripple kind of effect. So that when I put the colors on over this, like in the hair and all, in those areas, it'll make it look a little more realistic. And you know my painting, so I mean, like the colors are gonna be a little crazy and zany because I want to actually use some of Elvis's music when it comes to the color. But I didn't want to think about that when I was doing the painting, and that's why I'm just going in and I'm doing this grayscale sort of version at first, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to listen to Elvis song. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this painting this weekend. I'm going to continue filming it. And then on Monday, I'm going to have it as the Drastic Art Measures fast painting. And then I'm actually going to play the Elvis song. If I think the rights, I think like we could do the rights and all that on YouTube or something. If we don't monetize it, I don't know. I'll check into that. But I actually want to play the song with it. So hopefully on Monday we'll have that. And so we'll have the music, the color for this painting. We'll be going for it. And I play it now, but I'm afraid they ding us and turn off the feed if I'm wrong.
What is the song? Are you gonna say? You're not gonna say?
Well, the super. Well, let me.
It's an Elvis song.
It is. I know the song in my head, but I don't know all the lyrics.
It's a Las Vegas inspired.
I wasn't asking you to sing it.
No, I'm asking you to sing it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It has the word please.
I think it uses more hip movement.
Yeah, it does. He's like,
Please? Please what?
I don't know. Oh no, it's like a little more satisfaction, a little more.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of the lyrics. I was probably not the lyrics.
Yeah, that's.
I'm too busy when I hear it going
I
like this song. I like this song. And I miss it.
I want to say that was one of our wedding songs.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You were there.
I know it, but I don't know.
I hopped up on your jelly bellies.
Evidently.
That's a great ceremony.
Yeah, when
jelly bean tastes like barf. What's up with that?
When John and I got married, it was so funny. When John and I got married,
it was so funny.
It was hilarious. We got married in Vegas. It was planned. It wasn't like spur of the moment. It wasn't Britney Spears style.
You're cute. I got married.
And it was funny too because when we got to the chapel and everything, you get there a day early and they're like, okay, you need to sign this and do this. Is everything in order? Blah blah blah. We're like, yeah. Cool. And then it was like the day of or something, and they said, okay, what's the music that you guys are using for everything? And I was like, what? I didn't even think about that because I'm not the typical wedding planner type. I was just like, let's just do this. And I was like, well, we're in Vegas, so I was like, let's do an Elvis song.
Well, you just thought, this is my first marriage, just so I could run through. We'll work out the kinks, and I'll worry about it later.
Yeah, it was. One of the songs was an Elvis song, and I can't remember what the other song was. It was a blur. Obviously, you don't remember any of that.
Well, you know what I remember about your wedding was running through the hotel with you in that wedding gown and me trying to pick up the train or something. That was like, or going through that. What was it? Remember on the train we had to get on that.
Yeah, we had to get on the monorail thing down to the.
Then for some reason we ran through a casino and we were late. You were late. And,
yeah, our wedding was crazy. Yeah, we got married at the Tropicana. And all the way at the other end was our reception at the Star Trek. We had a Star Trek reception, so And the quickest way in Vegas is just to take the monorail through the hotel. So we had to go to the Tropicana, run through one of the casinos next to it to the back where you got in the monorail, and then you take it all the way down, and then you're at the Hilton, which the Star Trek exhibit it's not there anymore, but it was funny because, we're not the only people in wedding attire on this thing. So it was like, it was...
As you're running through, the other brides
I
were
remember.
like,
yeah, everybody was like, congrats! It was very, very normal, oddly. So,
yeah. Oh,
but it was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
And I remember, like, the one big hang-up of our wedding was, the main reason to do it in Vegas and for all that was because I didn't want any stress. I was just like, let's just show up, let's just do it. And then the day arrives, and
get it done.
Like, I was just like, the price of a Dallas wedding is ridiculous. So the day arrives, we get all of our stuff, your like suitcases over to the chapel and everything. We get over there, and we're changing. You change at the chapel, and I realize we don't have the rings.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, my friend
Shima.
Yeah, Shima and Misty. They sprinted down to the hotel we were staying at, which was not at the Tropicana.
Like, they were all dressed for the wedding.
They were like,
whoosh. And they took their shoes off.
Yeah,
you could tell,
that's what I
they're like, we can do it.
Yeah, went to the hotel room, grabbed our, and the whole time, you can't get married without the rings, apparently. Like, it's a thing.
Oh.
And we were to the point where we were going to pull rings off of people's hands. Like, my mom.
Not mine, baby.
What? We were like, my mom always wears, like, this similar rings and stuff, and I was like, let's just get married with your ring, and
How convenient.
yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, it was the most stressful.
It's stuck. I guess
But they got them. Remember, and then they couldn't find them or something, or they had to come. I don't know. It was wild.
I remember
that.
I remember the Tropicana people were like, it's time, ring or not, you need to find something to put around.
They were determined to get you married.
Well, they're booked like every 30 minutes is a wedding. So.
Yeah.
One of our good friends that were in a fantasy football league, they got married at the Tropicana too. And when we saw their wedding photos, we were like, oh, that's adorable. That's just like ours. Same pose and everything.
But it was nice. So a lot of Joe Jackie's family was in New York and California, so a lot of people were going to have to fly in. And we thought, with so many people flying in, why don't we all just meet somewhere?
Yeah.
We had like 30 people that came for it and
it was
flew in. We were able to stay there a week and really hang out with a lot of the family. It turned out to be a really pro-family trip because we got to do so many things where if it had been a wedding in like 2 or 3 hours, we would have left.
I don't remember seeing y'all that much.
Okay, Josh chimed in. He said the name of the song is A Little Less Conversation.
Yes, a little less conversation.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
A little less conversation, a little more
action, please. Man.
He wrote in Elvis the Pelvis. Dirty.
You know what I heard? I heard that like the reason like he had that is like on one of the
Elvis.
One of the talk shows.
Ed Sullivan.
Was it Ed Sullivan or
Yeah,
was it? I want to say it was another one.
No, it was Ed Sullivan. He went on the Ed Sullivan show.
Well, I know
he had to cut him off the waist.
Well, I know he went on that, but the first time though, I want to say it was another one, and they said, well, why don't you not play your guitar? That way, we'll get more of a. And you can just sing. So he didn't have anything to do, so he just sat there dancing. And they were like, what? and then they went on Elvis, Ed Sullivan, I want to say. I may have this wrong, and they were like, he's going to be crazy. Shoot him from the waist up or something.
I
may have that wrong. It may be Ed Sullivan. They may be like, holy moly, waist up.
Waist up. Holy moly.
Holy moly. That's where there again.
It might have been Ed Sullivan at first. I can't remember. Yeah.
Well, Valerie said something about you could buy the use license for the video that you were talking about.
Yeah, and I want to say though that there's a thing there's one like with JXL or something where it's a more modern. It's like Elvis, but then if you don't monetize your video, you can go ahead and play it. But I don't know. I do want to do it tonight because they'll mute everything if they catch it, and they always catch it. And plus, I don't want to like do something like that.
Okay, Donna. This is a really good question. Donna chimed in and said, "So you never touched his face to know what he looked like. How did you make it so perfect?" And then she made reference to like how old you are, and sure you saw him before 2001 when you went blind, but I think you should address that because there's a bigger answer there.
Yeah, use your computer thingy, right?
Yeah, it's one of the great things that we have now, and technology has changed an incredible amount for people with visual impairments or no vision or low vision. or partial vision, or all kinds of things. There's just a ton of stuff. But thanks to the modern computers, that I have computers everywhere because I use a computer to read with. Everything that I read has to be on a computer because I can read Braille a little bit. I use Braille for my paints. So I use it for this. Every other thing except playing cards, I use my computer for. And it lets you read everything. It also lets you do anything on a computer that a sighted person can do. And because of that, they've been writing better apps and better applications and better programs for people with visual impairments. They can turn a photo into sound. It can turn a photo into vibrations. So if you have a touchscreen device, you can take a photograph, put it on there, and there's an application that will actually reduce it down to lines. And as you run your hands across the lines, it'll vibrate. And if it's a really thin line, it'll vibrate a little bit. If it's a thick line, it'll vibrate a lot. You can also do printouts of raised lines. You can do, which in the museum we use a lot of that. Like I said, there's also sound, and the sound's a little bit different. On a computer, if I need to get really good, intricate detail, I use my actual computer, not like a touchscreen device, because it has sound where you can actually check each pixel, and it'll tell you the lightness and darkness. And and it takes a little bit of practice, but it's like anything. Like the first time, if you've never used a spreadsheet before, for instance, and you go and use one, you think, what are all these columns and rows? I got to add them together. How in the world does it work? And then if you do it for a while, it becomes, you know how to do it. Or if you're working on a Word document and you think, I've got to print it. Where do I go to print again? I can't even find it. And it's asking me all these questions. You just get used to it. So if it's a program that you use a lot, you get a little better at it. It's easier, though, if it's actual a real person. Not that Elvis is a fake person. But if it's a living person, a real person that you can actually touch and feel, because you get 1,000 times more information. Where the slope, the curve, the angle, all that, it is so much quicker. We also have a 3D printer in there, which we're still perfecting. We're still making all that work. But the idea with that is that you can print out anything, a face, and actually be able to touch it and feel it just like you would in real life. So that's basically it. And it's something that I think it's really important to put out there, because I was fortunate with my eyesight, because I went to school at a university whenever my eyesight was going. So I automatically was being helped by the Office of Disability there. I was at a university that was very proactive. So right from the very beginning, they were showing me these things that were being developed. And I like computers, so I kind of kept it up. But there's a lot of people that don't even know about this stuff. Even guide dogs like Echo, they're trained differently than they used to be. There's some people who have been blind, let's say 15 years, 20 years, and they think they understand what the computers are like or what guide dogs are like. Or I tried one 20 years ago. They're different now. It's just different. So anyway, I know I'm rambling on and on about that.
It's interesting.
But it's important. And most people that lose their eyesight are older. They're older. They're not old, but older, like over 65, or over 75. And a lot of times they don't get the help that other people would that were younger, just because of bigotry or something. It's just
just like
ageism.
Well, whenever here's what struck me. Well, whenever you got Echo, or whenever you were applying to guide dog schools,
mm-hmm.
they said you were a better candidate because you were so active.
Oh yeah.
And mobile.
That's true. To get a guide dog, you have to have really good cane skills. That's true.
And so a lot of people don't have that, and so they're just left in the dark.
That's one of the things. Like, we go and we talk to tons of schools that have visually impaired children. 99% of the workshops we do aren't for people with disabilities, but some of the most fun ones are. And the children that are using the canes really, really push that, because later on you can get a guide dog, you can do lots of things.
Well, and what John did too, whenever he found out he was losing his vision, is that he immediately looked into mobility training.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
This John.
He was real proactive too. He sought out.
You are pretty good at the whole proactive problem solving.
Well,
thing.
I was scared out of my wits, really. So it was just sort of like, what are you going to do? And your life's kind of over. And then, wow. But there's a nice thing about that though. Is like if you think you can't do any good thing in life, like your life's pretty much over, no positive, you have no fear about making mistakes. You have no fear about trying other things. So you can really do no wrong. If you can't do any right, you can't do any wrong. So you might as well live your life the way you want to live it and do the things you want to do. And if it doesn't work out, it wasn't going to work out anyway. At least that was my thinking. So it freed me up to.
Whenever John,
it's a very negative way to do a very positive thing.
Well, sometimes it's what it takes. But
I
you know,
guess.
when you lost your sight, I mean, and you said you were going to paint. I was very skeptical. You remember that?
Mom was
That's
awesome though. The first time I did a
not a
painting,
good choice.
Oh my God!
I didn't tell people that I was painting for the longest, and then of course my mom and dad we would have dinner every week and we would talk and we always talk about everything, and I was like, but I could tell Mom because she didn't want to let me down because like I don't know so much had been going on with the health and all this, and I was like, Mom, I'm gonna try to paint. And she's like, oh, well, okay. It's like, oh, I want to show you a painting that I've been working on. Oh, I can't wait for that.
So it's kind of like when your kid goes to kindergarten and brings home a picture of a dog that it looks like I don't know what. That's what I expected.
And whenever my mom and dad walked in and I was going to show, and the painting wasn't very good, but it was a painting at least.
What painting was it of? Do you remember?
It was a self-portrait.
Oh, was it 10 Eyes?
Yes.
Man, you have that somewhere here. We should show the crowd.
It's hidden.
Yeah, and
It's hidden away.
yeah, I think it was eyeballs on
It
his
was. He was
fingers.
like this. I know that
So I
painting
was
well.
taken by the darkness of it, but also by how much it's very hard to do a self-portrait.
Well, and to do it proportionate.
And it was crazy.
Man, you
And
know.
I guess I don't know what I said, but
Well, you were like, oh, John. I remember it because I remember it like it was just like, oh, John, it's good. Because like I think you were glad that there wasn't
so relieved that
that I should have the paint on the table next to the canvas or something.
I expected to find the walls painted on the floor and the
walls.
his hair. God knows what.
Reverting back to when
I did paint Anne. I had a little white dog, and she ended up with quite a bit of paint.
Oh
on her.
yes, she did.
Bless her heart.
But yeah.
Okay, so I should say on the chat, Donna is apparently there's a tornado near Donna, and everybody's telling her to get in the closet.
Well, be safe.
Yeah.
Not my dog. Not dog.
No. And so, but she wants to see how this painting comes out.
Oh.
Well,
Send
Donna.
you a picture.
Her dogs are in the closet. It's okay.
Well, Donna. Well, I love how you're taking care of your pooches. Take care of yourself. And this, I'm not going to finish it tonight. I'm going to have to keep working on this grayscale. One thing when you do a grayscale sort of painting like this, it does take longer. But you end up with something that has a little bit more depth, I think, and it lets you model it a little better because you can put down stuff. And with me, I'm feeling the different. Each of these colors feels a little bit different, so I can look at it and it gives me more time to think about it. You can kind of reflect on the painting.
Okay, she's in the closet with her dogs. It's cool.
Okay, cool. Should we do some news?
Wait. Let me make sure. Owen said earlier that he was waiting on some some software that helped draw. Visually impaired people draw.
Oh, cool.
So that would be cool. He's waiting on that to happen. That would be awesome.
Man, that would be cool. Man, and Owen, I'd love to find out what that software is, too.
Well, I don't know if it exists yet. I think he's just waiting on it to happen.
Oh, I mean, I know they have like Zoom Text and Magic and all that sort of stuff, different software, but yeah, that'd be cool. And I was talking to, man, I swear my brain, but he's the producer for Disney, and we did that talk together.
Don Hahn,
yeah, and he was talking about how they had a stylus that would pick up color and it could vibrate. And he was thinking about it ought to be able to be converted.
That's cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, so what's the next step on the painting?
Well, the next step, I need to add a little bit more gray, and what I'm going to do is just keep adding different layers of this. Like I said, if we don't finish tonight, I'm going to keep filming, and then I'm going to post the video on Monday. Every Monday, I'm trying to have a drastic art measures fast, where it's a whole painting, but it's done like in 2 minutes or so you can see the whole thing. And then also next week, I'm gonna release a technique of the week, going over the techniques that I did here. So that if you were wanting to like work on this yourself, you're wondering like, oh, what colors did you use, what brushes? I'll have all that in there too, so you can go back. You don't have to listen to the whole live show or whatever and say like, oh man, they're talking about jelly beans again. Oh goodness, let's just talk about what brush you're using.
We're gonna do jelly beans every show. What are you talking about?
So I'll have it all there, so you'll be able to go to that, and it'll be easy to find that sort of information. If you want the art news, that'll be separate. So every kind of thing that you want from this, we're going to separate. We're going to release one every day. and that way, you know, we're on there, and there's content coming out. So we want to do more content because we're having a lot of fun with this. Well, guys, and while I say, well, they're getting ready for our news. You know, I was talking about for like 2 or 3 weeks that we needed to get a bigger computer and all to be able to do this, to stream, hopefully to Facebook. Tonight it went crazy. This is our first time trying to stream both live. We're using the new setup. But oh my goodness, hopefully this is going out in HD. But we're able to run everything at a higher quality. Like the computer is ridiculous, like the power on it. We're able to get a really good deal on it. But I mean, it's just, it's crazy. It has a what do you call it on a car, in the front of the car to keep it cool?
Dash.
Radiator?
Radiator. It has a radiator on the computer. It's a liquid-cooled computer. And it's really quiet because of that. But oh my goodness, it is so fast.
Roll down windows.
All right, so you want to do art news?
Let's do some art news.
All right, here we go. Bam! Art news, people.
Let's news it up.
All right, so what do you? Oh! I'm starting. I'm doing this. I'm starting this. Okay, so I thought because the live show this week was about Elvis, which you can tune into if you're watching this after the fact, we should talk about Velvet Elvis or Velvis.
Velvis.
This is my
dirty almost.
Velvis. This is my personal Velvis.
I didn't realize you had a personal Velvis. To tell
I
you the
have a
truth.
personal Velvis. I mean, every good art collector should have a Velvis.
This is true.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
The peanut gallery over there.
But in thinking about this whole show, I was like, well, where did that spark from? That's fascinating, you know? I mean, like, where did that come from? So I did some research, and apparently, okay, black velvet paintings originated from ancient cashmere, which is like, I guess, where the fabric comes from.
Okay.
And it's typically, well, when it first came out, it was typically religious figures, which, here, I'll show you an image of some, oh, well, that's not. That's a puff velvet Elvis. Cheese puff velvet Elvis.
Oh, yeah, I want to get to that.
Okay. What did you put on here?
Have you put, oh, you didn't send me any files, so I don't have.
Oh, okay, well, anyway. They're, that's okay. So they were typically religious figures. So, and I should say the number one person that is painted in velvet is not Elvis. It's Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
But anyway, after, you know, fast forward, Marco Polo is the one that introduced the black velvet paintings to Western Europe. And then you fast forward to the 1970s into Juarez, Mexico. It was the center of velvet painting. Yeah, fancy.
Wow.
And odd story, a guy named Doyle Hardin, a Georgia farm boy, pioneered an enormous factory so that, and had people in there that would just paint Velvis. Well, they would paint Velvis, but they would paint velvet paintings, and just like they would paint one part of it and then pass it on to, down the line. Another person would paint maybe the collar or and pass it on. So that's why when like people go down to, and it became kind of this thing, like kitsch art is what it's called, because people would go down to Mexico and they'd be like, I want some Mexico type art, and this was, Juarez, Mexico. It was popular. Anyway, Velvet Elvis, people. Juarez, yeah.
Ah, man, well that's cool. I was thinking about the black velvet Elvis, and I know you already showed it, but I was thinking, what is the? It's kind of known as a cheesy sort of art. So I thought, well, what's the cheesiest? What way could you make it the most cheesy?
Oh gosh, cheese puffs. Yeah.
So can you show the slide? And it's a black velvet Elvis made completely from cheese puffs.
Nice.
And if you want to find this, there's actually a video on YouTube called "The Eclectic Asylum Art."
Cool.
So or you can just go on YouTube and probably type in.
Well, and Sue Clark on the feed said that she got one from Juarez, and that I think she used to live there. Yeah.
My goodness. Well, that's awesome.
Lived in El Paso and she got it there.
That's cool, Sue.
Okay.
Well, I also want to mention that there's a provocative new study out. It shows that men and women actually act differently in how they go about evaluating art. Men tend to place more emphasis on the artist, while women on the art itself. which I think is kind of interesting. The way they did the study is they took all these paintings, and then they came up, and they're unknown paintings. And they came up with these fake bios that they hooked with the paintings. So these bios aren't on about any real people. And they would take some art that was really bad art, and they would pair it with a good bio, like saying this is a very accomplished, amazing artist. And the guys would go like, I'll buy it. I think I'd buy that painting. And the women are like, I don't like it. I don't like that art. So, I thought that was kind of interesting.
I would assume maybe that has to do with women being more in touch with like the emotional side of what draws them, and
I think so too, and also just
conned.
being smart as well, and I mean
being smart. There you go.
I think acquiring art a lot of times is like a relationship, because I know for me, whenever I buy art, I don't do it that often, but it's like a friendship. It's like I buy a piece and I stick with it. So, and it seems like for men, usually relationships, a lot of times it's about like being the first love. And for women, it's like being the last romance. It's sort of the thing.
It's more, I like that. That's nice.
It's more like men are into it. Like it sounds good, it looks good, whatever. It's about trying to go in and I don't know. You just conquer a little bit and a little, in a way.
Yeah.
And but for women though, it's more about the subtle hidden elements. When you think about it, like women are smarter, I think. Like if you think about like what
it's on record, people. He just said it.
What's a girl's best friend? Diamond.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
What's a man's best friend? A dog.
Women.
Women are just smarter, I think. But Echo, wherever you are, sweetheart, you're still my number one because I am a dude.
Whatever. Moving on. Well.
Also, thousands of naked blue people flooded the city streets for a dramatic photo shoot called The Sea of Hull. It's the latest work by photographer Spencer Tunick, and I've got to warn you, you may see some bottom on this.
Oh, there's bottom.
But the aim of the project was to celebrate Hull's relationship with the sea, and as well as serve a warning about climate change. But, I was thinking, I read the description and all.
Man, they must be in Corpus Christi, Texas is what's up.
Yeah,
everybody. It's hot.
Everybody laying down and not moving. I don't know. It just kind of seems like a bunch of naked.
I would have gotten naked in Corpus Christi.
Massive.
Maybe not painted myself blue, but I mean it was hot.
Man.
Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed like to me like I don't know, like watching the Smurfs and just seeing a bunch of dead Smurfs like Gargamel finally won and I don't know, a big kegger on the set of Avatar. So.
Oh yeah, that's a party. That's a party.
But anyway, I thought
the background would have been green.
Yeah, that's true. What was the background? What was the top of it? There's no green in the background?
It was just a sea of blue naked people.
Well, I did always wonder how the Blue Men group bred new members. So,
dirty.
But I know you want to talk about some crayon.
Okay, so last thing, which is really cool, and some people out there might have heard about it. It is the Crayon Initiative, and it was founded by Brian Warr. Okay. A little graphic about crayons. There you go. That's what a crayon looks like. If you forget what a crayon looks like. You don't know what a crayon looks like. So anybody out there, it's almost like a PSA to what this program does is that any family friendly restaurant that issues out crayons will, if they're doing this initiative, they'll recycle their crayons. Okay, so as opposed to just throwing them in the trash, which this Brian Warr guy he was out to dinner with his family. He's got 2 boys, and I think it was 2011. And he asked the waiter, he's like, what happens to all these crayons with these kids? And they were like, well, if it's open and it's on the table, it goes to trash. And he was kind of horrified. So he thought, well, why not make some sort of program where they get recycled? Because wax is not biodegradable, okay? It just exists forever. So instead of putting it in landfills, they created an initiative, and if you're interested, there will be a link in the comments in the description below, and if there's any family friendly restaurants near you, you can give them a flyer from this website or whatever, or talk to them about it. But it's really cool because you can they recycle the crayons, and it doesn't go straight into the landfill. So
but it's cool though. So they're taking it from the restaurant. So if your kids start bringing homework home from school and it smells like tacos or pizzas or some sort of other fast food, you're going to know why.
Right, yeah. Yummy.
Well, anyway, that's our news, guys.
Our news, what's up?
I got an Elvis to paint.
You do. Why don't you?
Some
go
of us
finish that?
some of us have an Elvis to paint.
Cool. So what do you got to do next to it?
Well, I need to keep doing what I'm doing. Really, I gotta work on the. So let me check real quick. Let me see. So that mix of paints that I have dries really quickly, which is really nice. I mix different mediums with my paint. Like I have a titanium white here, and it's a high flow. And this isn't necessarily the paint that came in this bottle. This was a high flow bottle, but I refill all my bottles. And I use ink bottles to put paint in. I use ink bottles to put ink in. I use, whatever it is, whatever will fit. This is the same paint as that. As you can see, it's really thick. If it was high flow, it would be falling out. But then I have another one, which somewhere, I'll have to find it. But it's like a medium consistency. So I found out that it kind of helps to speed up my painting if I pre-mix my paints beforehand. Now, you may not have to do this. I use different textures to help me with color and whatnot, so you may not have to do that. But if you do want to have different textures and whatnot, it's kind of nice. It lets you be able to create and not have to go back and forth and mix and mix and mix all the time. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going back in and I'm just adding a little more of the shading of different colors. And what's going to happen is that what I'm going to put over this are thin washes and glazes of color. What that is a color that's sort of transparent. So it's going to change the gray. Like if I put a blue wash over part of it, it'll look like blue paint all through and through, but it'll undulate, darker and lighter blue. And then later, once I get all the colors on that I want, I'm going to go back in with some opaque paint that doesn't let the light in go through it very easily, and that'll make it where I can put in more highlights. I can do lots of more different kinds of effects and stuff with that. So I go back and forth with washes and glazes and more opaque paints. So what I'm doing right now is just basically I'm just going back in. I'm filling in some areas. With me putting that paint in before, I was able to kind of play around with it and get some ideas about what I was thinking about the shape of the face and all. And like I like the cheek, but I need to lighten this cheek, I think.
I was wondering about that cheek. I thought he had a scar.
Yeah. I mean, no. But
well,
yeah.
I will say, I'll go back to the chat for a second to chime in. So Sue was the one that said that had bought the Velvet Elvis, and she gave him to her neighbor when she moved, and he was a disabled Mexican who loved them.
Oh, nice.
And
that was nice.
Oh, Valerie said it's interesting that when couples look at her art, the guys are more interested in the technique.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and Stephanie Bergeron said, "Well, Val, your art uses fire, and boys are attracted to fire." And that is true.
That's nice. That is nice.
So, very good.
Well, I'm just going to work on this some more. And really, what I'm doing right now, like I said, I'm just putting the lightness and the darkness in it, and I'll repost more of this. But I do want to give some art away, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I should say Valerie also said you can light a candle. You can light crayons to be candles, and if need be.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. It's,
Cool.
I think I had seen that on like Pinterest or a Facebook post or something. But
Makes me just want to do it for fun.
Wax makes
So like the top of the crayon, you can just light it.
Well,
I guess.
I want to say you can. I want to say that the paper around the crayon is what keeps it lit. Well, I want to say like I've seen it in like survival situations where they were like,
Like
"Have you ever?"
crayon?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got crayons. I got a million. You want a crayon? I got
Well,
a crayon.
I've got some in my purse right now that I got.
I know
at Chili's
exactly.
because of Chili's.
Exactly. I have probably
That's
3,
true.
and I have them in
Me
different
too.
shapes. So.
That's true. We're ready.
Valerie said they melted down crayons with scents and drizzled on pinholes to use the wood stove as starters. That's cool.
Oh, that's
Very cool.
You know, I was talking to, I'm going to do some stuff at the Dallas Museum of Art this October, and I do every October. It's going to be interesting. One of the things we're going to do is take different spices and actually grind the spices up and make paint with them. So we're going to actually use...
Really?
use
It's gonna be flavored paint.
Huh?
Flavored paint.
Well, it's gonna smell like a lot. Well, we're not gonna eat it, but it's gonna have a strong smell, and it's gonna have natural hues to it and stuff.
That sounds awesome.
After eating these jelly beans, I'm down.
I want to try another jelly bean. Can I have another one?
Oh
Can you spin it?
Let's do
Can you
this.
spin it? Give me
Oh,
one.
please, Lord.
All right, spin it.
All right. I hope you get it back. I mean, I hate to say it, so I'm
I hope it's barf. Ooh, no. Ooh,
Wait,
rotten milk.
Wait, what's that?
It's
say?
rotten milk. It's
Moldy cheese. No,
Ew.
we don't want that one for
No,
you.
he probably wants rotten milk.
I think you want stock.
I hate rotten cheese. I love cheese, but
What's that say? I can't see.
They're
that.
trying so hard to give me a bad
Tutti
jelly bean.
Frutti or stinky socks?
oh, let's try it.
Okay, Tutti Frutti or stinky sauce. Let's see which color that would be. You see.
All right.
Must be the orange, right?
I dare you to take just like 5 of them and just eat them.
Is it this color?
Gross.
This
No,
color?
it's gotta be like super multicolored. It's like that one.
Really?
Haven't seen
Looks
them
like
so
Tutti
excited in a while.
Frutti.
Well, the Tutti Frutti and stinky socks look the same. That's the
All right,
trick.
here you can pick.
Oh, here.
Please pick the wrong, whatever.
Actually, let me have both. I'll eat them both.
One at a time now.
All right. Yeah.
I hope he gets 2 stinky socks.
Oh, Valerie said yes. Just light the top.
Tutti Frutti.
Man, come on.
Are you
Really?
serious?
He's gonna eat all the good ones.
I mean, all the one.
Maybe he doesn't have
Mm.
taste.
No, it's like this. You go to a bar with John and want to play darts, and you're like, Shh, I'm gonna kill at this. He will win. Darts, pool. It's ridiculous.
And
What is that one? Is that stinky socks?
Must be Tutti Frutti. I don't know the difference.
right, yeah, John, we're doing
Just
this.
we're gonna do this till you get a bad one, and it's not toothpaste.
Must say I've already had a bad
Toothpaste.
one.
Let me see.
What was that
Oh,
nasty
toothpaste
mint flavored
again.
one?
Wait, which one's the dog
Give him a
food?
dog. Just give him a brown one. Why don't you bite into it? Make sure it's
Oh
gross.
yeah, well, I'm not gonna do that again.
Well, let's make it real. Let's spin it. Let's do the thing.
Please.
I want to have the toothpaste. That was delightful.
Ugh.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, dead fish.
That's better than a live fish. I still maintain.
You know what? There
You
doesn't
buy the
seem
Jelly
to be
Belly that has a
purple
little bit of a
ones in
wiggle to it.
here.
A little sushi flavored.
Actually, for me, I think dead fish would probably be the worst. I'm not a big fish fan to begin with.
H-R.
So somebody that likes fish considers it a bad fish flavor. That ugh.
Has anybody out there played this game?
I don't know if you have played Bean Boozled to let us know.
Maybe tell them, right?
Well, hey, why don't we put the question out so somebody can win some art and we'll keep eating some meat.
Okay.
You'll keep eating some beans.
All right. Are we ready to start? Are we doing this?
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's an Elvis question.
All
I
right.
picked this
Here's
week.
the question. Oh, that's a close up on us. You're in the camera shot, just so you know. Elvis's favorite sandwich was peanut butter, bacon, banana, and what? A, jelly, B, honey, C, ham, or D, another peanut butter, bacon, and banana sandwich stuffed inside the first forming an Elvis taco. So, this is how this works. I've got the question up on the screen right now, and whatever you think the answer is, write it into the chat, and I'm going to write it down, your name, and we're going to put it in a hat, and Debbie's going to pull your name, hopefully your name, if you got the answer correct. Pull a name out of the hat, and you will win a medium-sized print or guitar pick or poster or something
I've read
like that.
this so many times.
Let me read it again. Elvis' favorite sandwich was peanut butter, bacon, banana, and what? A, jelly, B, honey, C, ham, or D, another peanut butter, bacon, and banana sandwich stuffed inside the first forming an Elvis taco.
Holy guacamole.
It was a large man.
Ugh.
All right. So I'll give you guys like a minute to think about it.
You can give me a
If
jelly
you don't
bean.
even know, guess.
Yeah,
I
guess.
mean, it doesn't hurt.
Have you got one over there?
Chocolate pudding or
John's
dog
gonna
food?
eat hopefully some dog
Chocolate
food.
pudding or dog food?
Oh, I get 2? Oh.
Yes. Oh God, you get that dog food, John.
Chocolate pudding.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Definitely chocolate.
Oh my God.
It's not like a heavy chocolate, but it's a little sweet. You know, it tastes like pudding a little bit.
Do the other one. That'll take care of it.
Oh, dog food.
Hey,
Oh,
John got the dog
Definitely
food.
bingo.
Wow.
Finally. Finally.
Oh, John, I'm sorry, really. I feel bad.
That's not. That's bad, but you know.
Don't tell me you like dog food.
That's so nice. That's how I feel for you, sweetie. You know, but whenever I had it, like it was bad. I thought, oh, dog food. But then I thought, you know, have you ever been in a gas station where you've got like a sausage and a cheese thing that's probably like a year old, like they're in the little the plastic sort of thing, and you eat them together? That tastes a little bit better than some of those.
That's true. Well, no, that's not true.
That's,
All right, so last call, people.
For alcohol, I mean for this.
If you are not sure, just write something in. It doesn't hurt to try. We won't ask.
Can I play?
You know. Well, no. Do you know the answer?
Maybe.
You know the answer.
Maybe not.
are you,
I don't know the answer.
well, have
What do
you,
you think the answer is?
yeah, what do you think it is?
I want to say jelly, but it's probably honey.
You don't think it was another
You don't think it was another
sandwich
inside
made
another
made to
sandwich?
form an Elvis taco?
No, it had some kind of. It was either jelly or honey.
All right.
I think it was honey. Pretty sure. That's what he used to ask me to make for him.
Okay, so the answer is, and all the names are in the hat.
Okay, Josh, I hope you win it because you're a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm
Honey.
doing my best.
All right, so his Elvis favorite sandwich was peanut butter, bacon, banana, and honey.
Ah, I was right. Valerie.
Hey,
Valerie. What's that song?
Hey, hey, hey.
congratulations, Valerie.
Awesome sauce. I have a horrible handwriting. You know the drill because you've won before. That's awesome.
Can she get an Elvis print?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, anything.
But it'll be a while.
Yeah, the last one she chose was Morning Forest.
Yeah,
I
it'll.
love that painting.
But this painting will be done by Monday, and actually in prints of this painting will be up next week too, and all the other ones like the little pugs and stuff. We'll have prints of that available and everything on the website.
Cool.
As
So
always.
congrats, Val.
You're welcome,
Email John or email bramblet@gmail.com and let us know what medium-sized print you want, or if you'd rather a guitar pick, or we have posters, which I think are kind of cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, the posters are 3 feet by 2 feet. They're huge.
Yeah, the posters are cool, but I mean, shoot us an email and I'll let you know what we have. So, and I know you already won. So if if you want to give it away or something like that, cool. That's it.
You're going to make sure Beverly gets a print of that.
Oh, I know.
I've got an aftertaste of dog food.
Oh God, it will last for the rest of your life, probably. I think I'll still taste it.
Do you have a drink over there?
Uh-huh.
So are you adding color? What are you doing? I can't.
No, it's all going to be grayscale. And actually, it's going to be grayscale for a while. So the painting is actually going to change that much more tonight
Yeah.
because I'm just kind of going and refining and just making it undulate a little bit more. So what I'm doing now is just adding more lights and mediums and darks. And when I do it in my head, I had an idea of the way that I wanted to start this, and it's the way I do it a lot with a portrait. But I'll start with black, and I'll work in the. Well, actually, I started with raised lines. I always start with raised lines to draw with. Even if it's with black, sometimes I'll draw with black paint as I'm working it out, and that way I don't have like an extra step. But tonight I went ahead and did the raised lines and stuff, and to make it go a little faster, and so I could play around with the shapes a little more. But then I use black. I go in there, and then I start mixing around with different shades of gray.
Cool.
But it makes it where with the black you know that a lot of that's got to be softened up, so it's nice to go ahead and get some of that down. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to keep adding these 2 different medium tones of gray and the white and the black to it, and then I'm going to start adding a little bit of color. And what I'll start doing is adding the color in probably around the hairline, around the cheeks, and most likely, and in the hair a little bit. It's going to look a little crazy for a while. Then I'm going to add in more of the white and the black. So finally, I'm going to repaint everything, all the black. Not all of it, but everywhere that I want it to be dark again. And then the last thing is I'll put in highlights. And the nice thing about that, like if you're trying to get bright colors, that works really well to get it making your colors bright, because you even right now with the gray, you think, oh, the gray is going to really dim all the colors down, but wait till it's done. It'll have some bright colors.
That's awesome.
What about making his eyes blue? Or
Did he have blue eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have it drawn in. You probably can't see it, but I haven't
He did have
added it
blue
yet.
eyes, didn't he?
I think
Josh?
so.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
I have it drawn in areas right here. I can feel it. You probably can't see it on camera, but I actually have his eye kind of drawn in down here, and then some other
There were a
areas.
lot, I think.
Well, okay, so Valerie said that the print choice was going to be her hubby's for his 27th B-Day.
Oh, nice.
So that's awesome.
Well, that's sweet. It's 27th B-Day.
Mm.
Let's see.
Just
So,
let us know what he's into. And
and then
and Valerie, I'm sorry,
oh.
but Valerie, if you want us to write something on the back of it for,
Oh, yeah,
for your
yeah,
hubby
That's
too,
nice. Good idea.
let us know, and
It's a good idea.
all my ideas are good.
I'll write a special note.
Goodness
Valerie.
gracious. Donna says that the painting's just getting better and better. Way to go. You're a master
is.
painter. His head's only going to get bigger.
Thank you, Donna.
Okay, and then Deliberately Creative Stephanie said, "Hey Jackie, my hubby Mark Bergeron posted his Joker painting to the Facebook page. I'm not sure. Did you see any Joker paintings to your Facebook page or something?
Oh,
Did you? I don't know, Stephanie.
you'll have to look.
Let me know what are you asking if John posted something, or did your husband post something to John's Facebook page? I don't know. Let me know, and I'll clarify what I'm trying to talk about here. Oh, okay. Oh, and Valerie said no. His birthday is on the 27th. He will be 47. So.
Oh,
Well, John, how much longer will it take you to finish that painting?
hopefully I'll finish it tomorrow, but it's probably going to take 3-4 more sessions of working with it. So it just depends. Like, so I'll work on this a bit tonight, and then probably when the live stream's done, we'll probably I'll put it up. Then in the morning I'll start it again.
Have
And
you
I'll go-
done? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, and I'll go back and forth with the Jesus painting and this painting, and just go back and forth, and then maybe start a third painting that I want to do. That's it's a commission of a lady's face, and while one's drying, I can work on the other. So it may not get done until Sunday, but it needs probably 4 or 5 more sessions.
Is this the first painting you've ever done of Elvis?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
You ought to do a series of. He had so many different looks.
That's true. Maybe I could do an Elvis impersonator.
But when he started out, he was like in blue jeans, and you could do all of his different.
Yeah.
Him in uniform. That's sexy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
and him blown up like a blowfish.
Yeah, on the toilet. That's not
Still
sexy.
sexy.
That's
We
not
don't know.
sexy.
We don't know.
We don't know.
So
The king on his throne. It had to be
Ew,
pretty
that's-
hot.
No, that could be the title.
Oh,
we're,
no, that
we're
wouldn't-
horrible people.
You are. I could have thought of that.
you know what I think I'm going to do with this painting too, and this might mean in another session. In fact, I'm sure it will. But I'm going to take a palette knife and go in and work in some color and stuff too. And that's really nice with hair. You can trill some color. You can pick up color from different places, and you get this nice texture that has this. I do that with some of my paintings, where you do most of the work with a brush. So most of it is brush work, but then you can go in with a knife, and you can get this wholly different texture, and it's nice because you get the best of of both worlds. The best of the brush techniques, and then that really cool sort of impasto thick work that you can get with a paint knife. It makes it nice.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think I'm about done with this right now. I'm gonna have to let it dry.
Man. Well,
Wow.
So this is where it is right now, and I'm gonna add some more grays and stuff to it, as it dries. But when you get to the point like this, because a lot of it's still kind of wet, like where I've been adding stuff around, and I want it to dry a little bit before I add more paint to it, that would be nice and crisp. Which is hard for a paint show like this when you're doing a live show, but I want the finished painting to look the way that I have in my mind. So I'm hoping it'll all turn out.
Well, I should say really fast, Stephanie said, yeah, it is really cool. It's actually colored pencil and charcoal. He did it along with while you were painting your Joker.
Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
And he posted it to your Facebook, so we
I'll
need
have
to find that. We
yeah.
will totally find that, and we will totally share that next week. We will share that. That sounds awesome.
If you don't mind sharing, yeah, that would be really cool. And I'm sorry, I miss things on Facebook quite a bit, and even cause it goes through my feed and I'm hearing it. But a lot of times I hear words, but I don't know. I just miss things, and I apologize for missing that. Or if I did, because it sounds familiar, I want to say I read.
Well, you might.
That may be crazy.
And then Valerie said she loves her photos of her hubby in his army flight suit and other uniforms. So Elvis in a uniform is not a bad idea.
Ooh la la.
And then I just lastly thought, what might be a cool subject matter is you can boohoo this or whatever, Gene Wilder.
Oh yeah.
That would be kind of cool, because then you could, because he had some wacky hair.
He did,
and he painted Lyle Lovett, and I thought his hair in that painting made that painting.
Yeah, I wish I could have met Gene Wilder. Of course, he had, passed away.
Yeah, he really was, really.
He was a character, so, according to his movies. But
that's a good idea. Well, guys, so I'm going to finish this up this weekend, and I'll have it posted by Monday. And I remember to turn the GoPro on this time. That's what happened last time. I had the GoPro all set up, because it's up above us. We have the overhead cam, but then we also have a GoPro up there, and that's what I use to shoot the fast videos with. And I forgot to turn it on last time, so I ended up doing a different, I think I was working on the painting back here and the Westie.
Yeah. And
during the live show, and then on Monday, instead of the Westie being there, it was Echo, and instead I showed the Westie because I didn't have the GoPro on for the other one.
Yeah, and then you did the pug one. You've been cranking them out, so it's good.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, I love these pugs.
Yeah, show it again.
I'll show it again. Yeah, just because, man, it's funny because I was working on them and I thought, man, should I do another one? Here, let me put them over here. And I just did them because I wanted to. I don't know. I work on a lot of commissions, but all the commissions are ones that I really want to do. But I just did these because I thought they'd be fun to do. And I did one. I did this one over here first, and I thought, he needs a little buddy. And then I worked on one that's being shown in the San Antonio Museum of Art. And it's going to go. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it. I'm so bad with names.
We're horrible at this.
But I love these little guys. I don't know. It's fun. You can feel the raised line drawing on this guy better than this one.
Well.
Anyway, sorry guys. I love puppies.
Okay, so we will be doing this again next week, and be sure, if you enjoyed the show, be sure and subscribe, like us on Facebook, all that jazz, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it helps a lot. It really does, and
Share
it helps us know what and we'll release the games and all that stuff during the week.
Yeah, and we're slowly getting used to the new equipment. So oh my gosh, eventually it'll all be golden.
Yeah.
Run out and get some Bean Boozled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is delicious.
Still tastes like
Don't
dog
tell
food.
your friends what they are.
Yeah. Boy, it still tastes like dog food.
Great Valentine candy.
Gross. Anyway.
Well, thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.